Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition. This model is finished off in race red with all of the white accents. MSRPs start right around $48,000. However, they can climb into the mid $50,000 range depending on the options that you go with. Now this particular Bronco is powered by the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6 that is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 330 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. This particular Bronco is also optioned with the engine block heater, so that way you can keep this nice and warm, especially in those cooler conditions. This truck is rear-wheel drive with the four-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 5,300 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be around 6 seconds. It has a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 20.8 gallons. You'll expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city, 20 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 116.1 inches. Its overall length is 189.4. It has a width of 86.2, a height of 73. With the Sasquatch package, ground clearance is right around 11.7 inches. It also has an approach angle of 35.5 degrees, a breakover angle of 20 degrees, a departure angle of 29.7 degrees, and it can also ford through 33.5 inches of water. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Ford Bronco Heritage Edition, there's a few different color schemes that you can go with. There's also the Heritage Limited Edition, which provides you with some more exclusive colors. But for the model that we have right here, the red and the white, I think is a really nice color combo for the Bronco in general. Now with this Heritage Edition, you will notice that the Ford logos are finished off in red, with the entire grille being finished off in white. This truck also has the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, along with the factory LED fog lights in the steel front bumper there. There's also the sensor for the distance pacing for the adaptive cruise, along with that inlet and grille shutters, just to provide some better airflow for this vehicle. There's also a tow hook on both sides up front, so you can use those as needed. Steel skid plate is up underneath. And then for the hood, you will notice that this has the accessory mounts. So there's one on each corner there, as well as the accessory mounts up on the top of the windshield. So you can use these for the roof rack, as you can see, or some other items if you want to attach those 2 points there. And then there's also a really nice bulge in the back of the hood there to give it a great design. Now with the Sasquatch package, that provides this truck with the 35-inch tires, and with the Heritage Edition, you get these white 17-inch wheels with the Bronco logo right in the middle there. And then you'll also be able to see with the approach angle, we have a lot of clearance. You can take a look at that suspension up underneath, where we have a lot of travel for that suspension. Also provides it with a great ride too. Now for the rest of the Heritage Edition, you'll notice the Bronco letters spelled out in the front there, along with the white stripe that runs down the side. This has the side mirrors, which are actually attached to the base of the hood. With the Bronco, obviously you can take the roof off, you can take the doors off too. So with the mirrors being attached there, you actually have a pillarless and mirrorless door, making it much easier to store and transport, and it makes it a little bit lighter when you take the doors off. Now with the hardtop roof, you'll notice it's finished off in white, and it's a pretty easy process to do. With the roof rack installed, it does make it a little bit more complicated, but you do have that roof rack to store additional items as needed. And then with the Heritage Edition, you can actually pop out the rear windows. That's not available in every Bronco. It's just the Heritage and the Heritage Limited, where you can remove that entire back panel, which is nice. Now this model also has the dealer installed running boards, as well as an aftermarket set of mud flaps there, just to keep it a little bit better protected. And then we have the fender arches, both front and rear, to stick out to accommodate for those larger tires there. And then in back, there's the full-size spare with the backup camera, LED taillights on both sides. This also has a steel rear bumper as well. And then with the factory hitch, this can tow right around 3,500 pounds. There's also a tow hook over on that driver's side. And then this does have remote start, so if you lock it and double tap this button, you can start it right up, and then you can also double tap that to shut it off as needed, which is of course nice. And then with the rear swing gate, you can actually lock and unlock it with that door handle itself. Now with that full-size spare and that shock there, it's actually very easy to open this up. And you'll notice too that it actually goes a very far ways out. So that way you can easily load items without that being in the way. Now with that open, you have to lift the rear window up from there. And then with the Heritage model, they all come standard with this slide out tray. This is an option. It's about $1,400 for other trim levels, but standard on the Heritage. It can also hold up to around 800 pounds. So you can place any items there. You can stand on this if you need to gain access to the roof for whatever reason, or just to put in some items and then slide them back in. Now the owner of this Bronco likes to mountain bike, so he made this custom bike rack where you can actually, when you fold the seats down, you can fit in a full-size mountain bike. You might be able to fit 2 in the back of this if you strategically place them, but this is a really cool way to be able to put in a bike and utilize that. And then underneath the floor, when you lift up this upper section, this is how you can still gain access to everything underneath. So you can slide this tray out where you have that little bit of storage, and then the toolkit is also hidden down there too. So it's a little bit of a system to go through there, but you still have some storage underneath the floor. There's also a 12 volt in the back with some dome lights, and then you have an area where you can place the electronics here when you take the top off. So you can just stick that there. There's also a little bit of storage too. So as an SUV, it's pretty practical for the items that you can place in the back, and then it's very easy to swing that back in the closed position. Now, as we work our way to the interior, door panel is pretty simple, of course, since you can take the doors off. So we have the storage net down below, grab handle, and then the release handle up top. And then we have the controls there for the electronics that you can disconnect, as well as the 2 bolts in order to remove that door. Now for this Heritage Edition, we have the plaid cloth seating that has a really nice texture to it for those inserts. And then with the side step, there's also a grab handle, a factory grab handle on both sides. However, we have the aftermarket straps up top if you would like to use those as well. And then at 5'10", I have a good bit of space in the back. There's storage pockets that you can use. There's the window adjustments, some auxiliary switches, and then I have plenty of headroom. We also have the insulation for this hardtop too, just to make it a little bit quieter when you're out on the road. But I have plenty of space to be able to ride long distances in the back. Now this also has cup holders right in the middle, so you can pull this down and put your drinks there if you would like to. And then you can also fold down these headrests as well. So if you don't have any passengers in the back, that'll give you a little bit better visibility. And we also have speakers directly behind those too. So even with this hardtop off, you still have the speakers to give you those tunes so you can listen to them, whether you have everything on or you have everything off the vehicle. Now the door panel up front is just like the rear, a little bit of more storage there. There's also lock and unlock, and then all the doors have a grab handle up underneath. So that makes it much easier when you do remove these to be able to transport them. Now the front seats are identical to the rear, of course, and they are all manual adjusting. So there's the bar up front to slide them, and then we have height adjustments and recline and incline. And then we have the factory grab handle on the side there, as well as the aftermarket ones that you can easily bolt in place on that roll bar there. And on the steering wheel, we have red stitching along with the leather for this and some brush trim accents. Let's fire this back up though. That button's over on the right side there. It mimics the headlight with the turn signal, which is a nice accent. And looking at the digital gauge cluster now, we can use these controls over on the right side to further go through that information. So we have tuning, we also have the arrows to scroll through, voice commands, Bluetooth, and then another control there. Now for the current layout, you will notice that it says My View. So you can actually go into My View and customize what you would like to see on the rest of this screen here. So the calm screen, fuel economy, this is already all pre-selected for the shortcuts to pull up on this screen. If you push on the 3 lines that I just showed, this is how you can go into some more of this information. So you can go through your off-road settings, your pitch and roll, you can monitor all of that, and then you can quickly go back to the rest of that info. You can also pull up your nav, your phone, you can go into audio and settings as well. So you can deep dive through all of this, or you can have those preset on the right side. So that way on the left side, you can look at your RPM, your miles per hour, there's your lane keeping assist, and your fuel level as well. On the far right, there's also miles per hour, and then the engine temperature, and the gear that you are in is in the lower section there. Now on this left side, this is all of your cruise control settings, along with your lane keeping assist and volume adjustments. And then on the left side, there's your headlight adjustments, along with your fog light controls, some dimmer switches, the e-brake. There's also one air vent tucked away on this left side, which actually still does a good job. Even though it is tucked away in there, you can still feel that. Up on the entire dash, you have a little bit of storage where you could place some items. The owner is going to put an attachment here in this accessory point where you can mount your phone and have it up on the dash there. So that's a really cool spot to be able to put some more items. And then behind that, we have these controls here for your hazards. There's also your traction control, trail turn assist, rear locker, and a front locker. This is missing the sway bar disconnect, which would be that control right there. For the rest of this dash, with the Heritage Edition, you get the entire white with all of the red logos, as well as the red center fan adjustments there, which is a cool touch. And then with this massive infotainment system, you have a lot more that you can go through. So there's all the presets in the lower section to further get through all of this. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A lot of settings that you can go into as well, just to set this up the way that you would like to. And then under features, you can go into your driver assistance, so you can go through all of the standard safety features, turning those on and off. And then you can even go through information on the right side with the info on the left side being fixed. So just depending on what you like to view, it's nice that you have the split screen design to further go through that information. Now underneath that, there's volume and tuning, as well as the engine start stop. You have some more audio adjustments, dual zone temperature for your front seat passengers. There's heated seats. You have the defrosters, where you'd like the air to go. Fan speed is right in the middle. And then you do have a little bit of storage down below with an auxiliary. There's the Bronco logo, passenger grab handle too, 2 cup holders. And then with the shifter, we can put it into reverse, releases on the front section. We have the massive backup camera, and then you do have 2 different angles depending on what you need to see. And then manual is all the way in the back, where you do have plus and minus, and you can use that as needed. Now behind that, we have all the 4-wheel drive selectors along with your cruise control for off-road, and then we have the GOAT modes just by rotating that dial. So for this Heritage Edition, there's normal along with eco and sport, and then we do have slippery, and then 2 off-road settings. There's mud and ruts, and then sand. So we'll automatically put it into 4-wheel drive depending on the mode that you are in, or of course you can put it into 4-wheel drive just by using the top controls there. Now there's all of your window adjustments, side mirror controls in the middle. We do have a locking center armrest where you can place some items as needed. And then the glove box is also locking, where we do have the toolkit that you can use in order to take the doors and the roof off. So that does come with a vehicle. That is very nice to have. There's a rear view mirror up top, and then all of these factory auxiliary switches that you can use. So if you want to hook up external lights, any other equipment that you may have, you can quickly put those on. And then with the hardtop, there are 4 latches for each panel that you have to remove. You'll remove the driver's side, then the passenger side. From there, you can actually remove the entire rear passenger side, and then you have the whole rear cargo space to do from there. So we do have a 4-piece hardtop roof. And here's a look at visibility from the driver's seat. We have some pretty squared off windows, but you definitely have a lot of visibility all around. As we set up behind the wheel now for the Ford Bronco, if you're new to our channel, we have a lot of seat time behind the wheel of the Ford Bronco. So we've been able to check out several different trim levels. And with this Heritage Edition, really neat to see kind of this more old school design with the 2-tone exterior look. Really gives it a great look in my opinion. You can also go with the Heritage Limited Edition, which will add some more exclusive color designs, just depending on your preference and your budget, things like that. So for this Bronco test drive, I kind of want to touch base on some of the owner's perspective for this vehicle. So the owners put about 785 miles on this truck in the last few weeks. And as you can tell, there have been some aftermarket goodies added to this particular model. So there's a lot of different customization that you can do with the Ford Bronco in general, and some things that I didn't even know you could do. For example, as far as the front storage space goes, the owner is telling me that you have this bin down below, of course, but it's not really that usable as far as the sizing that you have. Like I said earlier, you know, putting some mounts up here for your phone, things like that to get those items out of the way. You can also attach something to this passenger grab handle with the factory bolts there to put a small bin to put some additional items. So for something like that, you know, you're driving this every day, storage space is a little inconvenient, I will say. You know, you have the storage nets down here where you can place some items. They're not solid bins, like in a normal SUV or something like that. So that's not something that is a dislike, that's just something that you have to get accommodative to with this vehicle. Not too many things that the owner doesn't like about this. He went from a Honda CR-V to the Ford Bronco, so a big change in the SUVs there, but something that could still hold a mountain bike in the back, which is great to see as far as the sizing goes. And it's just a nice, comfortable vehicle that he enjoys, and there's a lot more to do with this. For my perspective, being able to drive a lot, it's something that I would truly buy at some point. There's nothing that I don't like about it either with the type of vehicle that you are getting. I've been able to drive this out on the highway, do long trips with it. The owner's done that as well out on the highway. And things like wind noise, it's just, if you're not really solely focused on it, it's not something you're really going to pay attention to. So this isn't a vehicle that you're going to buy and then complain about the wind noise, because it's just what you get with this type of vehicle, being able to take the roof doors off, things like that. And switching ankles now, we'll give it a slight acceleration. Still a brand new vehicle, but like I said, I've been in the Broncos before. With the 2.7 liter, this is a great engine option to go with. It has plenty of power and torque to get up to speed, so I have no issues with that. I've even been in the smaller 2.3 liter four-cylinder, which I think is adequate, but I would go with this engine unless you're getting the Raptor, where you get the 3 liter, which is a little bit larger, of course. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Ford Bronco. Really cool spot to be. I like the forward visibility that you have, small pillars up front, steep rake for that windshield, so it definitely gives it more of a boxy feel, but this drives very nice, very smooth for the type of SUV that it is. And with these larger 35-inch tires, obviously since they're from the factory, there's really not much tire noise. They're not mud grappler type of tires. A nice all-terrain tire, obviously, that a factory would put on a vehicle. So even with this factory tire, factory size of being larger, it's very nice. And that's one thing also that the owner of this vehicle likes, that you can buy this from the factory with a warranty like this, having the tires, the lift, or everything like that. So if you're in the market for a vehicle where you don't necessarily want to do a lot of modifications to it, or you want a little bit more peace of mind that you can buy a vehicle like this with that factory warranty, it is a great option to go with something like this. So you can just buy it from the dealer straight off the lot, take it home, and that is it, and you're ready to go. So a lot of people like that aspect to it, that everything is covered since you buy it from the factory as is. But this is great. I'm not taking the roof or anything off today. We have several videos showing how to do that and what it's like, but I thoroughly enjoy it. With the Bronco that I had last week, taking the doors off and just experiencing that open experience in the SUV, it's definitely something that adds to that fun factor for the Ford Bronco. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Bronco Heritage Edition. Once again, huge shout out to the owner for letting me check out the Heritage Edition. It's something a little bit more unique, a little bit more on that rare side. And then you have the Heritage Limited, which they're only producing less than 2,000 for that unit. So we have something a little bit more rare. But if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.